Jim?
Well, as Trevor said, Everton have not been penetrating and Liverpool have. But I think there are reasons behind Everton not penetrating. I mean, Pat Nevin, who seemed to be very bright early on and lively, was coming in all the time. And so many of their attacks, neat as they are, tend to compress in the centre, and they've ended with a high ball looking for a nod down and a first-time shot. It just hasn't worked. They've played into Liverpool's strengths. And if Nevin is going to be an explosive player on that flank, he's got to go on the outside of Staunton. He can't keep dribbling it inside. Liverpool, with far less attacks, have been incisive, penetrating. They've been able to run past the Everton defence, mostly with Barnes, mostly with Barnsley, but other players looking for the space beyond the defence, which Everton haven't been able to find at the other end.
Good Liverpool first half.
Oh, I mean, the game should be all over. It should be 4-0.
Good.
It really should be 4-0. Everton, it sums up their season. Very, very poor, very disappointing. The one point is, it should be 4-0. There have been 3 or 4 chances for John Aldridge. They're missed, it's 1-0 only.
It might tell, is what you're saying.
It's a funny thing that way.
Yeah,
but really, very disappointing Everton.
Well, they'd hardly had a touch before the goal went in. It was all Everton in the first 3 or 4 minutes.
We were talking, weren't we, about Aldridge never beating Neville Southall and in his career, or that was mentioned.
Yeah, there's Nichols' beautiful long ball. Beautifully played, perfectly played. McMahon's made the run. He can't believe his luck that he's actually through there, but a well-laid ball across for Aldridge. And how about the first touch in a match at Wembley in a cup final, going as straight as that one went into the top corner?
Well, it looks easy from up here, but I suspect that, when it's your first touch and when the ball comes in that way, that it's pretty difficult.
Tremendous running from McMahon actually does. This ball from Steve Nicol here is terrific. But then the little touch in, I mean, he's got the vision, the awareness there, the peripheral vision, little touch in. And as Jim said then, I mean, even against the best goalkeeper in Britain, with apologies to Peter Shilton, that's a tremendous goal. A tremendous finish, anyway. Tremendous finish. Beautiful move.
That's the ball again.
Typical Liverpool.
Look at it. Typical Liverpool, because they're looking for the space behind. And every player is a potential threat, potential runner. Nice little side foot, wasn't it, really? One you like to place up.
It's one of Nichols' great strengths, too, isn't it? Not only is he a great defender, but he plays those sort of balls out of the fence.
Useful player to have in your side, isn't he, all round? We're not disagreeing with the journalists.
Player of the year. Let's have a look at that attempt by Aldridge later on, which, in a sense, I think you both said at the time, was probably an easier chance, an easier scoring chance.
Yeah, staggering, really, the defending here by Everton, because John Barnes just has a look. I mean, he has time to look, there's no challenge, and he picks him out, and really, I think he should have done better, really, than that. I don't know in the end whether he tried to make it a little bit spectacular or whatever, but I think he should have hit the target at least with that one. But staggering, really, the Everton defending on that.
Yeah. He's had a pretty useful first half, Aldridge, because that wasn't the last of his chances.
He could have had 4 goals. No, he had another one coming up where I don't blame him so much for that one. I think the way that ball came across, although it was telegraphed for some time, I think really it wasn't all that easy to steer in.
Well, Barnes has had a splendid first half too, hasn't he? I mean, the great strength he's shown. But here was an effort where he was expecting somebody to arrive, and I don't think
in fact, this was a lovely ball here from Weenham, beautifully played. He perfectly timed run, and this flick in from Barnes, that wasn't too hard. Aldridge, I think, was for once not sniffing for the goal.
Do you know, Jim, I spotted something there when you saw that. We definitely spotted something. That number 4 there is Kevin Ratcliffe, isn't it? Yes.
Yes.
He held him back just as he started his run there. I'm certain of that.
Spotted.
Just as Aldridge started the run, just before he played it, Ratcliffe held him off, and I think that's probably why he arrived a fraction late. So I agree with you on that. I wouldn't put that one down to a miss.
No, all right.
I think it was a bit of good...
but it was a chance, as it were, at that stage of the game, which is another Liverpool chance against none for Everton.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's a blank scoreline at the
At
other
that
end.
stage, then, it was 1 goal, 1 miss, and 1 bit unlucky, perhaps. Good spot, Bob. And now here's another one.
Yeah. He couldn't believe how much room he'd got there, I think, and he had time for a touch, 2 touches to get it straight. And then, just the thing that a goal scorer shouldn't do, for a moment, he was just a touch hurried, having found the chance, and sliced it.
I mentioned just now the Barnes' strength, and we were talking about it, how he holds off a defender. There's an example of it coming
They bounce off like flies, actually. He's such a strong lad, because he's about 6 foot, and when he gets on the run, you can see here, there he's going, there we go, and look, he just thrusts him off.
All the
challenge
great
meant
players
nothing.
do that,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, Maradona uses his hands so much.
Absolute strength.
Johan Cruyff used to use his arms all the time. People say, you know.
And now look at a player using his legs.
Yes.
The right leg shouldn't be done. A lot of people would be shocked by that, but at the end of the day, a free kick was given. They had a shot from that position and almost scored. It only just went over the top. So at the end of the day, it's
really,
balanced out.
they've had all the chances. Everton haven't really had any. Pat Nevin, I seem to remember a shot which sailed over the bar earlier on, but right towards the end there was a little bit of a ricket, shall we say.
It was
which
Brucey at
might-
his best, this one. I mean, most goalkeepers wouldn't be in this area, you see. He goes a little bit half-hearted there, misjudged. I don't know what he was trying to do. I mean, it was so light. He was lucky to get away. Graham Sharp to begin with, and then Kevin Sheedy, and Brucey's getting back is blocked by Alan Hansen.
Bob, I think he was trying to keep himself awake and interested
Well,
in the hot
maybe.
afternoon.
It was very balletic. It was very balletic.
It's typical Brucey, that, though, isn't it? It is typical Brucey.
But I think it's as well as from what you're saying to beware as far as Liverpool are concerned, because they have missed those chances. In the last Merseyside final, Everton scored first and lost. There's all those sort of parallels to be drawn.
You've got to be very, very careful, Des. I mean, there was a Littlewoods Cup final here a couple of seasons ago, Luton against Arsenal. And Luton had Arsenal had a spell in 20 minutes where they had about 5 or 6 chances, which they missed. And suddenly Luton were away and they had the cup in their hands.
Well, here's the
So
bit
they've
where
got to be careful.
you impress them all at home. Can Everton come back? What do you think, Jim, first?
On the evidence of that first half, no, and certainly if they don't use the outside flanks and go past Liverpool on the outside.
And Bob?
They can come back, but they've got to do something different, Des.
I said 2-0 to Liverpool, didn't I?
You're going well.
I'll have a little boast about that just for a second.
While you can.
While I can, exactly, precisely. Let's go up to Scotland then. You heard that Celtic are